Hey everybody, Jim Powers with MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision, and a big week for our men's lacrosse team last week as they knocked off Lindenwood and Quincy and then moved into the top 20 this week on some of the polls, but also an outstanding student athlete making a name not only in the JLVC but around the country with his performance last week. And joining us from the men's lacrosse team is Jake Foster. And Jake, first off, congratulations on a great week last week, being named GLVC Player of the Week and then earning some national honors. But, we were just talking a minute ago. It's got to feel good, but it's not the end game for you guys, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, obviously the honors are awesome, and it's really cool to be recognized like that. But what we're really excited about in our locker room and in our program is the rankings, especially, and then that first win against Lindenwood, which our program hasn't been able to accomplish since it started. So that was really cool. And then I guess the dramatic fashion that we did it in just kind of made it that extra sweetness.
Talk a little bit about halftime with the Lindenwood game. And Coach Stark will say that he wasn't that animated, but then you guys are like, yeah, he was a little animated. But whatever was said at halftime, really, really must have stuck with you guys because you came out defensively and did everything, getting stops and only limiting Lindenwood to one goal in the second half. But then the offensive side, you guys really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, we basically, like, going into the game, it was really interesting because we only had a week to prepare, kind of thing. We kind of just got thrown into it, and like without having the fall that we did, and then kind of a shortened season pregame, but we were still trying to figure out what kind of team we were. Like, we hadn't really gotten a chance. We didn't have any man up plays. Like, we didn't have time to throw in any end line plays. Like, we were just like, hey, we're just gonna go out and we're just gonna play lacrosse. And then I guess at halftime, it was kind of like, wow, like, these guys are ranked number 13 in the country. Like, we're hanging here and we haven't been practicing. Like, guys, we're right in this. Like, there's no reason for us to give up. And that was one thing that I thought our team did really well, is that, I mean, obviously it wasn't our cleanest game. Like, we didn't play our best lacrosse, but I thought that we battled the entire time from first whistle to the last. And we just didn't give up. We just kept persevering. And at the end, we came out on top. So yeah, the halftime was just, hey guys, like, don't get too high, don't get too low. Coach Stark's huge on riding the waves. Just stick with the program, stick with the plan. We're going to be all right here. I think after the first half, when the freshmen had settled in a little bit, it was their first experience of college lacrosse. It was kind of like, all right, now we're rolling here. We can do this. Let's do something today. Why don't we?
Well, and that's the thing too. And you mentioned a little bit about, not being able to do a whole lot of stuff in the fall, obviously with COVID protocols. And then, not only do we get COVID protocols, but we get Mother Nature throwing just a boatload of curveballs at us in February. But you're a guy that's been there. You have gone through a lot of stuff, in your career and turning into one of the leaders for this team. What was your message to the freshmen during the COVID time in the fall with the limited practices, and then in the couple weeks leading up to the match last week?
Just be patient. Like, we're gonna get our shot, and when we do, we got to make the most of it. There's no point pouting about it. There's no point getting upset, throwing fists at it. I mean, it is what it's unprecedented times these days. But yeah, the fall was really weird. It was actually funny. Because we had a bunch of guys that didn't even come down in the fall. They stayed up in Canada, and then we had limited practices. We were in little cohort groups where we were working out and running with the same 5 or 6 guys. So we had a bunch of our upperclassmen that hadn't even met our freshmen until first practice in the spring here. So it was very strange. But yeah, the message to the freshmen was just, hey guys, like, it is what it is. We gotta be patient. We gotta make sure that we're being smart, making right decisions off the field. And then when time comes around, like, we're gonna get to play. When we do, like, don't take it for granted. That's something Coach Stark's been stressing a lot this year, is that this can get taken away at any moment. And then by COVID, and then a couple of weeks ago by the weather and stuff. So it was just appreciate what we have and then make sure we make the most of it while we can.
Talk a little bit about your game individually and a terrific game both against Lindenwood and then turning around against Quincy. Just talk about how you approach the game and talk a little bit about your work ethic and how you prepare for games like that.
Yeah. So my game, I mean, I guess I credit it to the coaching staff and the guys around me. Like, I have typically been a pretty big outside player, and I like to shoot from the outside, but I can finish on the inside. And Coach Stark has done a really good job building an offense around putting players in their strengths. And so I mean, I don't have to do a whole lot of work. Like I don't have to do a bunch of dodging where I can just kind of find my space. And then I got my teammates that are feet and I gotta put it in the back of the net. I have a very relaxed game day ritual. I don't like to get fired up. I don't like to put headphones on and like bump music. I like to just hang out, like stretch out, hang out, listen to music. Like we just like throw it on speaker in the locker room. But yeah, very very even keel. I don't like to get too high. I don't like to get too low. Try and act as like a little bit of a calming presence if everyone's getting nervous or anything. But yeah, really, I mean, I'm just doing my job out there. That's one thing that this team's been huge on is that we got a bunch of role players on the team. Our big thing against Quincy is I know we got a lesser opponent, but we can't get stat hungry in that sense where we aren't running our system. So that game was really good for us to kind of practice what we were doing. And then obviously I had some points as a result of the way our system was working, but yeah, no, it was really good to just see a bunch of guys contributing and the way that we were really coming together as a team in Quincy. That was really cool to see.
All I know is that shot that you put on from the wing was an absolute laser later in the second half of the Lindenwood game. Me and Chuck both looked at each other like, wow, we haven't seen a laser like that in a long time. I mean, that was just a bullet coming from you from the wing.
It was nice to get that one, especially when we're down by one. We got a few minutes left in the second half, and I haven't scored since the first half, so I was feeling a little snake bitten there, and I was like, I get one here. I got to get one here. And then, yeah, Tyler Wank made a great play down the wing. I popped up, and he fed me. I engaged contact a little bit, which I like. You know, I'm a Canadian box player, so I kind of thrive off of like banging bodies in the middle there. So I was able to engage contact, and I don't know, just kind of close the ball for that one. I guess nothing else was really working, so I figured why not.
No doubt about it. Well, Jake, I appreciate the time. I know it's busy for you with classwork and practices and all that stuff, but congratulations on all the honors this week. But not done yet. Still a lot of work to do on a very young season here for the men's lacrosse team, right?
No, are not done yet. Yeah, we're right back to work the next day. We talk about our previous wins and then focus on ourselves and focus on our opponents. We're moving forward here. Coach Starks can't get fat and happy. Couple games, we can't get fat and happy. We still got to earn it. So right back to work. But I really appreciate you doing this.
Awesome stuff, buddy. Thanks so much. We'll see you Saturday down at the complex as we get ready to take on Davenport.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good one.
No doubt about it. Jake Foster joins us once again. Jake was the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week and was named to the National Team of the Week in lacrosse in Division II this past week. So congratulations to him, and we want to thank him for taking some time with us today. Once again, men's lacrosse Saturday, 10:30 start down at Maryville Athletic Complex. We'll take on Davenport. We'll have all the action for you on the GLVC Sports Network. For Jake, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.